I've discovered something terrible. I didn't put background music in the last Plants vs. Zombies video. I'm a disgrace. But don't worry, this video does have it, or it should at least. Maybe with me learning I deserve a like and subscribe? Nudge nudge? Nah, just messing with you. Let's get in the video. Coming back from the last video, I'm now on level 2-1 and I've unlocked the Puff Shroom. Puff Shroom, in my opinion, is overpowered because it's a free version of the pea shooter that works at night, with the only downside being that it doesn't have a large range. Honestly, that doesn't matter because it being free negates the short range, and you can place so many of them while not wasting sun for your other plants. We're also introduced to the newspaper zombie. Honestly, I like the zombie because he has a lot of health and he gets faster after you break his newspaper, but he only shows up twice in this whole area of the game. He doesn't even show up in 2-10, which is supposed to be an all-out attack of the zombies in the world. Anyway, this level was easy. I just placed 2 rows of Puff Shrooms and a row of pea shooters because I wasn't quite ready to let my buddy go yet. With the end of 2-1, we unlock the Sun Shroom and move on to 2-2. The Sun Shroom is just this area's sunflower. When you first place it, it gives a small amount of sun, being 15 each, but eventually grows larger and gives the regular amount of sun at a faster rate than the sunflower. Also, can we talk about how it gives 15 sun? Like, seriously, it messes with me, because it screws up the sun count for the whole level. Anyway, level 2-2 is the same as 2-1, but the zombies have support from buckethead zombies and conehead zombies. Honestly, this was a bit tough because the coneheads on their own could eat through 2 Puff Shrooms without dying. So you may be asking, what did I do since my amazing Puff Shrooms weren't working? That's right, I did the same setup I did in Area 1 where I placed a row of pea shooters and a row of repeaters and placed a potato mine whenever it showed a buckethead zombie. And that's the end of 2-2, and we unlock the Fume Shroom. Along with the Fume Shroom, we're introduced to a new zombie in 2-3, the Screen Door Zombie. Which, guess what? We're introduced to an interesting plant and a zombie with an odd mechanic. Yep, that means the Fume Shroom is the Screen Door Zombie's worst enemy. The Screen Door Zombie holds, you guessed it, a screen door which blocks normal projectiles, and it has a ton of health. The Fume Shroom, however, has the ability to shoot its fumes through the screen door, making it useless. It also hits several tiles ahead of it at the same time, so it has insane crowd control. So yeah. Anyway, at the start of the level, I struggled with my defenses, not really having a strategy. But as the level progressed, I realized I could place a walnut with a Fume Shroom behind it, and it would handle zombies quite easily. I also threw some snow peas at the end of the level for fun, and unlocked my new plant, the Grave Buster. With the Grave Buster unlocked, I can now get rid of graves that don't really get terribly in the way. In my personal opinion, the Grave Buster isn't completely necessary, but they do make it a lot easier to have a nice organized looking defense. The Grave Buster, though very ugly in the second Plants vs. Zombie game, has a slightly more vital role because graves actually block projectiles. But then again, the graves didn't really have a lot of health, so maybe I'm completely wrong and this plant is basically pointless. Except for a level that we'll be seeing later. Anyway, with that rant, Crazy Dave offers me to buy another seed slot, which I gladly do. And even with me not exactly thinking the plant is terribly useful, I take the Grave Buster along with me, along with my usual night loadout, and for some reason the chopper. The level goes exactly how you expect for someone who doesn't play the game. Place a couple Puff Shrooms here, a couple there, destroy them and replace them with Fume Shroom rows and walnuts. Oh, I also forgot to mention that this level reintroduces the pole ball zombie. And as I said in the last video, he is easily countered by placing any plant in their path. With that, we end the level and don't unlock a new plant, but another tool. This Suburban Almanac? I don't really know how to say that. Which just keeps track of all the zombies and plants you've encountered, giving stats and giving you descriptions. Maybe I should have read that to give better plants and zombie introductions. Nah. What do I look like? A proper YouTuber? Anyway, time for, once again, an area minigame level. This minigame is Whack-A-Zombie, which is just like Whack-A-Mole, but zombies come out of graves. Instead of hiding back in the ground, they walk towards our house. Instead of being a conveyor belt level, this level gives you sun with zombies killed, and you can get the potato mine, the grave buster, and the cherry bomb. This is the level where I think the Grave Buster is the most needed, because without it, the yard would be overrun with graves, and there would be a lot more zombies to deal with. Personally, I thought this minigame was easy, and would have been a lot more fun if it didn't end until the Grave Buster got rid of every grave in the yard. It would have given a lot more purpose to the plant that doesn't really have much. But anyway, with the last zombie defeated, we unlocked the Hypno Shroom, a mushroom that once a zombie eats it, it gets hypnotized and walks the opposite direction, attacking any allies behind it. Now on to level 2-6, where we get introduced to the powerhouse that is the football zombie. This guy has the health of a buckethead and has the speed of a chipmunk on crack. Good thing we got our new plant, the Hypno Shroom. The Hypno Shroom is a perfect counter to this zombie, making that powerhouse on our side. The problem with the Hypno Shroom is that they make the level way too easy, because once you get rid of the football zombie, the level is nothing but regular and conehead zombies. So the good old Fume Shroom defense is good enough to beat this level easily, having us unlock the Scaredy Shroom, which is just the Puff Shroom, but with range, and having the downside of being completely useless if a zombie gets near it. Honestly, I don't want to talk about 2-7. It was the same as 2-6, but with an addition of the screen door zombie and our Scaredy Shrooms placed in the back row. Oh, and an extra wave. Anyway, unlock the Ice Shroom, which is a plant that freezes whatever's on the screen. Personally, I don't like this plant, because when stalling, I prefer the walnut or the potato mine. I wouldn't really use this in the later stages in levels, because by then my defense is locked tight, so I've never really found any purpose for this plant. Again, honestly, I don't want to talk about the next two levels, because they're the same thing as one another, but I will go through the basic structure of them because they introduce a new zombie. This zombie is the Disco Zombie, the grooviest zombie in town. And you bet he brought background dancers. He uses these dancers who spawn regularly and can spawn several times per Disco Zombie as shields and additional threats. It would seem he'd be our worst threat so far, but his great weakness, like everyone else, is the Fume Shroom and the Walnut defense. Anyway, with beating these two levels, I unlocked the Doom Shroom, which is a mushroom that works like the Cherry Bomb, but has a bigger explosion, and wherever you place them, you won't be able to use that tile for a while, if ever again in that level. I also got a note from the zombies asking if they would come over for a snack of ice cream. And brains. Can't forget the brains. That won't do it all, because that means this is 2-10, the all-out raid / conveyor belt level of this section. And honestly, like the rest of this section, this level was decently easy because of the massive amounts of plants I get at a time. The only problem I had with this level was that it gave me a lot of Ice Shrooms and Doom Shrooms, like way too many, and also didn't give me any walnuts. But I combated this by using the Puff Shrooms as my defense, while the Fume Shrooms and Scaredy Shrooms did all the heavy lifting. I also complain a lot about the instant shrooms, but they made the level go by a lot faster, so I guess that's a plus. Anyway, after the Doom Shroom destroys the majority of the last wave, and the Fume Shroom and Scaredy Shrooms take out the rest, I unlock the Lily Pad, and we reach the end of the video. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, make sure you like, and if you're interested for more, I suggest you subscribe. It'll get me in the mood to make another video, and if you made it this far and you hated it, why? Like seriously, why waste your time? I'm not keeping you hostage. I guess leave any critiques in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.